Hello, welcome back. Listen closely, repeat after me, and let's master the native sound simplifications that give you instant authority. Let's jump in. First up is purchase. Although it's spelt with an A, most native speakers reduce that vowel sound. Instead of saying every syllable clearly, you'll usually hear purchase. Listen again. Purchase. Mortgage next, we have mortgage. Here's another word with a silent letter. Although there's a T in the spelling, native speakers never pronounce it. Instead, they simply say mortgage. Finance. Moving on to finance. In American English, you'll most commonly hear finance, with the stress on the first syllable. In British English, you'll often hear fians. Both are perfectly correct. Just choose the version that suits your audience. Coupon. Our next word is coupon. In American English, most native speakers say coupon, using a long oo sound. You'll also hear coupon, particularly in British English. Both pronunciations are widely accepted. Niche. Now let's look at niche. Many learners say niche, but today the pronunciation you'll hear most often is niche. It's the preferred pronunciation in both business and academic settings. Liaison. Next comes liaison. This word comes from French, so the pronunciation may not match the spelling. Native speakers usually say liaison. Notice that the S sounds like a Z. Prestige. Let's continue with prestige. The ending isn't a hard G sound. Instead, native speakers say prestige, finishing with the same sound you hear in measure. Boutique. Another French word is boutique. Most native speakers say boutique, stressing the second syllable. Keep that final teak nice and clear. Concierge. Here's another word you'll hear in hotels and luxury businesses. Concierge. Native speakers usually pronounce it concierge. Notice the soft j sound at the end. Key now for one of English's biggest pronunciation surprises. Quay. Although the spelling looks unusual, it's simply pronounced Key, exactly like the word key. Definitely one worth remembering. Athlete. Let's move into some words that native speakers often simplify. First, athlete. Many learners add an extra syllable and say athlete. Native speakers simply say athlete. No extra vowel. Mischievous next is mischievous. A very common mistake is saying mischievous. Instead, native speakers say mischievous. Notice there are only 3 syllables. Sixth. Now try this one. Sixth. This word contains one of English's most difficult consonant clusters. Native speakers say sixth. Take your time and practice it slowly before increasing your speed. Specific. Moving on to specific. Believe it or not, many learners accidentally say Pacific instead. The correct pronunciation is specific. Be sure to stress the sif syllable. Particularly. Our next word is particularly. In fast, natural speech, native speakers often shorten it to particularly. Notice how the middle y sound disappears. Temperature. Likewise, temperature is usually simplified. Rather than pronouncing every syllable, native speakers say temperature. The extra vowel after the P is often dropped. February. Now let's revisit a word that catches many learners. February. Although every letter is written, most native speakers simply say February, dropping the first R during normal conversation. Probably next comes probably. In everyday speech, native speakers rarely pronounce every syllable. Instead, you'll usually hear probably. Short, smooth, and natural. Government. Here's another word that becomes shorter in fast speech. Although it's spelled government, many native speakers say government, dropping the N sound in the middle. It's a subtle change, but you'll hear it frequently. Interesting. Finally, we have interesting. Rather than saying every syllable, native speakers usually pronounce it interesting. The first E after the T simply disappears. It's another example of how English naturally simplifies difficult sound combinations. Remember, native speakers don't always pronounce every letter. They naturally reduce sounds, shorten syllables, and link words together to make speech smoother and more efficient. The more you recognize these patterns, the more fluent and more confident you'll sound. And just in case I don't see you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.